Hello and welcome to SDN Tech Forum. In this video, I'm going to show you a new exciting feature introduced in Cisco DNA Center. It is called AppHosting. In my earlier video, I have shown you the similar functionality, but you can do it manually. You were doing it manually. That means without DNA Center, or if you don't have DNA Center in your environment. But if you have a DNA Center in your environment and you are using to its full extent, like you are running software defined access, that means you have the Fabric build where you are where you have VXLAN, Lisp, and .1Q.1x authentication. In that scenario, you want to run a Docker container for some sort of application. You can do it very easily via DNA Center. So I'll show you how you can do that today. So on my screen you can see starting release 131x. So prerequisite, let's go through some prerequisite. 131x, that means 1313, 1314 or 1315, even higher. This is the bare minimum DNA release you need. Cisco Catalyst 9300 boxes. Again, for any container based application, you need SSD 120 gig USB storage. It's a Cisco certified storage, and iOS XE versions should be minimum 16.12. I'm running 17.11 in this video, that's why I'm showing that, and DNA Advantage license. Okay, so what is AppHosting? If you go to DNA Center itself and you read the description, this is copied from there. So AppHosting lets you manage the life cycle of third-party application on device managed by Cisco DNA Center. Very important, managed by Cisco DNA Center. This release allows customer to bring any third-party Docker apps on Catalyst 9300 boxes. Okay, and one prerequisite which stand out and very important is now AppHosting uses your HTTP credentials to log into DNAC box. So you must have HTTP credentials defined for the within DNA Center, and at the same time defined within on each and every switches itself. All right, so let's go ahead and run the demo. Before I go to the DNA Center, I want to show you that the Docker container where we are going to run is on Fabric Edge nodes. That means these are the software defined access campus fabric, and I'm running these are edge nodes are my Cat9K boxes where I have inserted USB SSD USB, and I'm going to run a container app on that. So this is not a legacy network, this is a software defined access network. All right, now let's go back to DNA Center and see what we have it there. Okay, so when you come to DNA Center, you can see that very quickly verify the release 1314, and if you go to system settings, I just want to show you the package, software update, installed app, and you can see automation, application hosting. Okay, so AppHosting, same description because I just copy and pasted there. And where you will find the AppHosting, that is under provision, the new tab added called services. Within services, I have shown you how to run StealthWatch, application visibility, and now the third tab is AppHosting. So once you go to AppHosting, these are the two apps I have imported, but if you want to, if you have your own Docker application, you can simply come here and click add and upload a new app from your local PC or wherever, and you can actually categorize them also. So I have already uploaded a IPFRR Docker app, very lightweight FRR, and this is I'm going to install. So once you click in on that, now you can see that the manage tab is grayed out because the application is not installed. So I'm going to install that, but if you want to add some description or customize some runtime options, you can do it here. But I'm not going to do that, and I'll simply click on install. But before I do that, I want to go to switches and see what we have today. So this is my Fabric switch, and as promised, this is a Fabric access. That means you can see all the Lisp related configuration. Show version if you are interested. That's running 16.12.1. All right, so let's do some basic check here. Show run interface app gigabit ethernet 101. You can see the app gigabit internet is nothing configured here. And now let's go ahead and configure. So all right, so I'm going to click install. It's going to show me all my devices, and this is the device where we want to install. But you can see this is in ready state, right? Some of my devices are not ready because HTTP credentials are not verifying. So initially, even this device was in the same incompatible state. That means you get this warning, verify HTTPS credentials. So let's first address this. So you come to design, go to device credentials, and here you have to come and set your HTTPS read and write credentials. So you can see that I have set up HTTPS credentials here. We username policy. So you cannot, there are some restriction around what kind of username and password you can use. So please check your, come here and check username policies. You can see that. So 1 digit and a special character, the last line, you can see it accept hash, underscore, asterisk, but it doesn't accept a bang or shebang line. So please choose your password carefully, or maybe you won't be able to reuse one of your existing password. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply edit the password one more time here. All right, view password policy, and I'm gonna, so I'll Mexico 123 because one of my Mexican counterpart helped me to complete this setup. The password is dedicated to him. I'm gonna say apply, and every time you set up a credential, don't forget to just click on the radio button and do a save. Then only this will come into effect. We'll do the same thing for HTTPS, right? I already have set it in that way, but let me do it one more time just for sake of illustration here. Okay, save, apply now, and I'm going to save. So you can see my host name is DNAC-HTTPS. So let's configure this username and password on the device. So if you get HTTP credentials incompatible warning, you have to do two things. You have to come to DNAC, set your DNAC HTTP username, read and write, and then go to the switch where you are getting the warning and configure the username there. All right, because DNA Center is going to use this username and password to log into the device. Now go back to provision. Since I have configured something new here, I may have to edit or resync it. So let me first quickly go and edit device. I'll come here HTTPS, and I'm going to set my password because you can see that okay, I have chose the wrong device, pardon me. HTTPS username is correct. I'm going to set up the password one more time here. Yep, let me copy. I want to make sure there is no, okay, the good thing is we can see, and then update. Once I updated this, I'm going to do a resync. Select action inventory and then resync device. Okay, what you want is your devices should come back in the managed state before we start uploading. So let me simply remove a few fields so that we can see the last sync status. We are interested in this. You can see this is in progress here. Let's see what is going on my device. Okay, you can see user DNAC failed attempt. HTTPS is failed, but it should pass. That's the key. So maybe it failed because before I started resync, so should go through. Now where is my H2? H2 is still in progress. I may like to refresh it here, and let's see, H2 comes into managed state. You can see it comes into managed state. All right, now we are good to go ahead and provision the app or install the app. So I'm going to click install. Devices, pick your device, the device what we just prepared. So you can see it's in ready state. Validate device, select the device, click on next. App interface, ETH0, that's my VNIC. Device network. So since this is a fabric device, I have multiple type of VNs configured, right? So I have a guest employee, I have employee who connect with wireless, or the regular employee, or even the underlay, right? Yeah. So I'm going to choose a subnet which dedicate for my employees, and app IP type, I'm going to just keep it dynamic. That means it is going to fetch an IP address from this network, and the IP addressing for this network is already defined. So it is going to treat the Docker app just like another employee connecting to the device. Okay, but obviously no .1x authentication. All right, so confirm app, and runtime is everything all. I'm going to just simply say finish. Auto start app. So you can actually install and then start, or you can install and activate start at the same time. So I'm going to say auto start. Unless you can see summary, one job in progress. You can watch it here in real time. And once it finish, it will go into like 3 categories: failed, stopped, or running. Right now it's in progress. Let's see. And if you want to see what is going on here, not much. These are all regular. Okay, we are waiting. Let's wait. Okay, running on one device, very good. That's a very good news. View device with the app running. So you can see H2, you have the app running here. And now let's go back and check on switch itself, like what happened here. Okay, so the commands are all same what I shown you earlier in my earlier video. So app hosting list, you can see mlab iperf state is running, very good. If I want to see the details, because I want to know the IP addresses, you can see this is all the details. mlab running, and these are the resources it is using, and resources details, mlab, memory, MAC address, network name, everything is here. All right, let me go and check on, this is my border router. Okay, so this is my border, my edge. Let's check one more time here. Okay, so the Docker app is running. What I didn't get this time is the IP address. Okay, so let me see if I can connect to this AppHosting, app ID, connect app ID, and my application name. So you should know your application name. So let's try to connect to the Docker container. mlab ID and question mark. I don't want to connect to console. I would like to connect to session and see if I can connect. Yeah, PS. So Docker app is running. This is good news, but what I don't see right now here is the IP address. what IP address my Docker container got. So I'm going to investigate a little bit and show you in a moment. Yep. Yes, so the problem what we were seeing is we were not seeing the IP address for our app when we install the app, and I just rerun that install process one more time in the background, and I have some CLI capture for you. So you can see that DNAC pushes this conft and interface app key, and it does make this interface a trunk interface and allow the VLAN the pool what we have chosen, right? So 1015, and this is my app gigabit Ethernet config interface look like. So this should be in trunk mode. Sometime what is happening here is this interface does not, despite of this configuration, it does not changes to the mode trunk, and you will see that the configure, then you won't get the IP address, right? Show app hosting list and show app host details. You can see that I got the IP address from my DHCP server, and now let's try to connect to this application. And how you will connect to this application? That's a simple app hosting commands. So just type in app host connect app ID, your app ID name, and then I would trying to connect to the session. And once now this symbol changes to $. That means you are actually within the container. And if you come here and type PS, you can see all the processes. So you can see my iPerf3 application is running, and if I want to see the networking configurations, you see I have H0 configured, which has got a dynamic IP address 16.19. Okay, and so this is a very lightweight application. That means I cannot ping any IP address if I want to ping my DHCP server. So there is ping is not running, but it will serve the purpose for what we have installed it. So I'm just going to install a iPerf client, and it will send a client request to the server which is running in my server block for somewhere, and you can see. Okay, so DNAC is sending a lot of so that is sometime when you are on console, you can see this. So 192.168, and let's see if my server is running. I'm in the background, I'm simply going to server and see if my server is listening on that port or not. If it is not listening, I'm going to simply start that one more time, and let's see. Okay, host is unreachable. Okay, let me exit it here and check the interface one more time. Show run interface app gigabit 101. Okay, and if I do show interface app gigabit 101 switch port, it is static access. Let me do a patchwork, which is basically I'm just going to configure it switch port mode trunk, and then rerun the command. So negotiation operation mode is trunk. Now let me connect back to the container and see if I can run my iPerf. So I'm going to run iPerf3 to the server 3. Okay, perfect. You can see it is connecting to server on port 5201, and these are the test results. So iPerf is done. And if you're interested where is server, this is here my Ubuntu server which is running iPerf, and you can see it is listening on 5201. And if you're interested in like seeing what IP addresses it has got, so it has got the IP address of 193, 162, 192, 168, 193. So today, I mean, there is a small bug here probably, or some scripting error. I got this working one time, I didn't get this working second time, but the bottom line is your app gigabit Ethernet 101 should always be in trunk state. That is very important. So maybe something, some scripting which is happening in background, it's not perfected. All right, let's come back to the DNA Center and see how you can manage the app. So once you have the app installed, you can manage it. So simply go back to all services, app hosting, and now you can see the manage tab is actually highlighted. So you can come here and then you can actually start your app, stop your app, edit your app config. If you have any specific runtime options to mention, you can do that here. You can upgrade your app and you can uninstall your app. So it's fairly easy how you operate this, and you can have the app logs and all other features here. So whatever you do, you get a progress bar here as a summary. So if you want to start or stop, you can monitor the process here. So this is like very easy. Now I have an app running on my switch, and if you compare this video with the earlier video where we have configured the app VNAC and gateway, this time we didn't have to do anything. And also you can see that if you look at the app resources, the last command which I want to show you here is DNA Center. So if we exit out of the container and I will show dir USB flash 1, you see there is, I don't have to transfer the tar file for the iPerf application because the application is in DNA Center itself. Why we are using SSD? We are using only it for all the storage. So you can see the storage space is 120 GB, which is my USB SSD. So I hope you like this video, and you will start using your app hosting via DNA Center and enjoy the automation. Thank you.